Hey, Lisa, so we just hot off the presses with our panel.
That was fun.
It was
You did
fun.
a great job, moderating.
You did a great job being moderated. The legal perspective and the technology perspective, I thought that was a nice balance.
Yeah, I think that's the theme, right?
Vivek mentioned that sometimes that relationship from his perspective as an engineer feels adversarial. Not that that's how it is, but the point is, build the bridge.
Exactly. I really took that away. I don't think from compliance, like I come at it adversarial, but I think lawyers, the EQ part, you don't get as much. That resonated for me on, yes, we have a joint undertaking, joint mission, and really doing it more carrot than stick.
AI field is so complex, and there's so many pieces of it that cause us to rethink some of these things we've held true for a long time. Like, so for example, we talked through the OECD responsible data principles, basis of GDPR, and some of those just really need rethinking. So data minimization, as an example, is that still a thing for AI? It feels like these machines are hungry for data. Maybe it's more of a data maximization strategy. So, what do you
just realistically, I think a lot of companies always had a hard time with getting rid of any data. Like, yes, lovely aspirational data minimization, but they wanted the data. They had, I would say, from their perspective, had legitimate business cases for the data. I think where we're going is you're going to have the burden of proof to demonstrate not only do you know what data you have, right, your data discovery, but if you are really leaning into an exception from deleting it, from getting rid of it, then enforcing your purpose limitations and making sure you're transparent. These are all well-known concepts, but I think there is much more of the microscope that you're going to be held to account to make sure that you can enforce the limited purposes. Relying on an exception, and I am only using the data for within the acceptance.
So data privacy and AI as tied at the hip is fascinating to me. I mean, because of things like transparency and accountability and all these privacy principles we know and love, but also because we just mentioned the data management piece. There's no way if you're not managing data end to end, and you know what you have and where it is and what your permissions are. I don't even know how you get started on an AI journey.
I think it's a vocabulary thing because that is the problem. This middle layer of data management. You have your privacy tech software, you've got your old-fashioned where you're coming from, but if you don't truly know your data, that's not a beginning and end with data mapping. It's a data management issue. And that's its own layer that needs to be addressed.
Data mapping is a start, right? And then it's, well, what do you have permission for?
Right.
And then are you using it in the right way? The thing you have permission for, and then by the way, how long do you keep it for? And when do you pull it out of the model? Or when do you need to retrain it? All these great conversations that we had, the appropriate retention period, just like managing data across its life cycle, start with understanding it. And that's going to be critical for AI. I think people...
Right. But it's a resources thing too. Like you're not growing your legal team bigger. Yes, you can automate a whole lot, but you do need judgment and some decisions along the way on that front. And I don't know that those positions are currently filled. And so thinking of like just the organization and that there's need. I mean, you talk about data governance, like how many models in Gen AI, and it's just like model them up. Like we have a model here and a model there. Well,
you like that one?
I love that one because how many models do we have that that's their own risk assessment and that's maintaining the data associated with it. Like there's a lot of responsibilities for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate the time with you on the panel and your perspective as always, Lisa.
This was so fun.